Alright, what's up? I'm back. Am I gonna do a new video, new episode? I can't, hell yeah. Alright, welcome to a new video of this dickhead. And today, I'm doing cylinder head. Is it record?
It is recording. Yeah, because it makes a beep sound.
Alright, something I want to talk about is cylinder head. The cylinder head that car has inside of it is actually pretty. Here's why. On that particular engine, and I already talked about this, BMW tried to make like an efficient petrol engine. So in order to do that, they took out, or didn't take out, they took different piston rings with less tension on them, and they also left out this and this camshaft bearing. Or is it camshaft journal? I think this is the camshaft journal, you know, where you put in your camshaft, and these are, I think they're bearings, yeah. On that cylinder head over there, they left out this and this bearing. Or is it a different one? Could also be that the middle one is also missing, but I can't remember right. I would have to take a look inside of that cylinder head again. But yeah, basically that one is missing some of these bearings. Now, what that does is when that engine, you know, gets pushed hard, you know, high RPMs for a long period of time, that camshaft actually tends to crack. Or if the camshaft won't crack, the levers that push your valves, how are they called? Forgot. Those tend to crack too. Basically, you have two very high risk components inside of that cylinder head on that engine. It's a 2.7 ETA. And on the later models, I think it's called the Super ETA engine. They got rid of those things, you know. They also used different cylinder head bolts, because the original cars came with normal heads, screw heads, and the later ones have Torx screws. Yeah, but this right here, this thing that I have on my lap, is a cylinder head from a 2-liter engine. Now, even though it's 2 liters of displacement, which is 0.7 liters less than that engine, the BMW engineers try to get like a better or more efficient airflow through the intake runner. So the intake runner on the ETA engine looks a bit different, you know, and it also has a smaller diameter, which basically just kills power. Less big, less flow, less power. And on pretty much all the other engines, they have bigger ports. So these are the inlet ports. They are way bigger than the ones on the ETA engine. I can also show you that. And I want to even enlarge these, because on the 2.5 liter engine, the intake runners are even bigger. Is this an intake runner? Yeah. So basically what they then did was make this all bigger, and they go like higher up into these corners, so they can get a bit more airflow from the top, basically on top of the valve, and getting more fresh air into the engine. So I want to do that, you know, I want to port these bigger, because the bigger they are, the more air they can flow inside to the cylinders, and that results in more power. Now, what I I kind of already started, you know, taking off some sharp edges. On the long run, I want to go with a different cylinder head. And the reason behind that is that I think it was the earlier years of these engines, the BMW M20 engine, it's a 6-cylinder engine, and it already existed in the E21 3 Series. So basically that was the first year where this engine came into life. Maybe even the BMW E9, or doesn't matter. Engine is old as fuck, so there's a whole bunch of versions of it. The earlier version cylinder heads, they are pretty interesting. They don't have this, so I don't know if you can see this, but basically here material is missing. Now, these cylinder heads, when you give them a bunch of pressure and, you know, pretty aggressive tune with a setting of ignition timing and all that stuff, you know, it affects how strong the ignition obviously gets. So the harder it is, and you know, like if it misfires, that's also really bad. So basically, if you put a whole bunch of load on these cylinder heads through cylinder pressure, they like to crack here, because this is pretty thin. And in the internet, they sell like plates, like stainless steel plates. They go on top of here, you know, they close this off and basically help your cylinder head staying a bit more strong and sturdy when it comes to like vibrations and load. If these crack, obviously, it kind of also fucks with your cylinder head screws. So in total, that's just bad. Yeah, I want to go with an earlier model set of cylinder heads, which I think I can put in a picture right here. As you can see, the cylinder head material on there is still here, and that gives it a whole bunch more strength. And those were also more the type of cylinder heads that guys use that modify these engines, you know, because there's a reason behind it. But what I already started to do on this cylinder head, because I still want to use it, maybe not on the long run, but I still kind of want to use it a little bit lower boost setting, you know, not too high horses, just to figure some stuff out. What I already started to do is port also the exhaust side. The exhaust side originally is this tiny hole. Can you actually see that? Wait, now I have a bit better vision of what I'm actually talking about. As you can see, exhaust port's pretty fucking small. You know, in my opinion, that really isn't big. Now, what I already did here is countersunk, I think, to the size where I want these to be after I'm done taking out material, and that's what you can basically see up here. Now, I ported these, and obviously there's a big difference between this small hole right here. Maybe I can use a flashlight to show this a little bit better. Not much that can flow through there, but basically a whole bunch that can flow through here. Is that a good comparison? Yeah, it is. You can see it. In short, make the ports bigger. The bigger the ports, the more flow you can get out of these. And this comes in pretty much very handy when, first of all, boost. You also want your engine to be able to breathe out properly. You know, response of your turbos, everything, it affects it. That's what I did here. So I ported them. You can get more exhaust gases out of your engine, and that also results in more power, obviously. So I ported these, and I want to do this to all of them, and then I want to put this cylinder head on that engine, and then basically find out if that makes any more power. Because not find out if it makes more power, how much more power I'm gaining through doing this. So, because I'm 100% sure this is gonna add power. In my opinion, the better you make your engine breathe, the more power it's going to make. Doesn't matter what type of engine you got, the more you can flow through the cylinder head, through the exhaust, and also through the intake. That basically dictates how much power you can actually push through an engine. If you do all these things in a combination, you know, like bigger valves, camshaft, like a really nasty camshaft, bigger intake ports, bigger inlet, you know, individual throttle bodies, and bigger exhaust outlets, and like a really nice set of headers, all of that will make a whole bunch of power. And I've even seen on some engines, just the cylinder heads are able to make, like, the highest one I saw, like in difference of power, was just the cylinder head makes 70 horses. I can't remember what engine it was, but it was 70 horsepower just because of the cylinder head. To me, that's crazy. This will obviously make more power, you know, I can just flow way better, and that will help me reach my goal with the car. With this cylinder head and the engine right now, because, you know, it's still stock. How's it called? Pistons, god damn. Still stock pistons, stock connection rods, still stock balanced crankshaft. What I want to do, you know, take apart the whole engine, you know, do all the bearings, just everything. Then do all the bearing clearances and also weigh out every piston and every connection rod, and then give that to the guy that does the balancing. To them, it's really good if you do that, because the closer he can balance the crankshaft with the actual weight that's going to be the actual rotating mass, the more perfect he can balance it. That's what I want to do. I want to weigh every connection rod and every piston, and, you know, if piston cylinder 2 goes in with like connection rod number 4, because, you know, clearances and all that fit the best on those, then those will be put together. I'll weigh them, and then after I weigh them, I can basically give that information to the guy that does the crankshaft balancing. Just gives you advantages of not having too much vibration in your engine, because vibration actually can kill your engine. Or it won't kill your engine, but it will have a longer lasting life with all the bearings in it, because the more vibration, the more load on those bearings, and obviously less bearing life. I want to do that, and also it's an old engine, so might as well do it once, do it properly, and then I can drive 700 horses for the next 10, 15 years without having to worry about it, you know, because there's some guys, yeah, they build like 1,000 horsepower engines, but, you know, those 1,000 horsepower engines only stand up to that level of power for like, what, 2 years, and then they're toasted. Kind of not want to do that. And if you think about it, all these manufacturers are actually doing a pretty damn good job at building these engines, because if you think about it, some of these engines are 30, 40 years old, and they still run perfect. So, kind of want to get close to that. So, that's it. Cylinder head. Still have to port 1, 4 of these ports still need to get done, which is a lot, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, I love it. I just love looking at the exhaust ports. I can just see that they're so much bigger, man. Oh, this will help breathe real good.
I'm trying to keep the camera at a safe distance.
Ooh. Somewhere around that ballpark, I can zoom in some more. That's good. Oh, I'm absolutely out of frame. Now I'm in frame. I don't have my glasses on. I'm blind! Today, doing the cylinder head. Just gonna keep on enlarging the ports, and then I'm gonna see if I can do the intake ports too. I don't know if I will enlarge the intake ports, because they already are a good bit bigger than the original 2.7 ETA head, and this is like the 2-liter head. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I will enlarge the ports. I could, since it's 2-liter, it's just a normal oval, and the 2.5 has like enlarged intake ports too, you know, and it's kind of like on the lower part it's a normal oval shape, and then on the upper part where the injector sits, more of a rectangular shape. But I don't know if I'm going to do this, since I'm not actually going to keep this cylinder head on the car for a long time. This is just like basically temporary mod, just to get a bit more airflow through it, and this will already help it since it's got bigger valves and ooh, wait, I don't actually know if the valves are bigger on this cylinder head, to be honest, but I do think so. Yeah, like as far as I know, the 2-liter, 2.3, 2.5 engines, they have bigger valves and bigger ports, and like I said, the 2.7 and like early on models of this cylinder head have smaller ports, so that sucks. As far as this cylinder head goes, it's just a 2-liter cylinder head, and I'm gonna keep on doing the exhaust ports and maybe polish up the intake ports here. You know what, maybe not, because like that's like a little bit of golf ball, not structure. How was it called? Like there's a trick with these, or not these, in general with cylinder heads, and that's when you do enlarge them, and then after you enlarge them, you give it like golf ball texture inside of the intake ports, and that gets you a huge amount of airflow, because it basically, the air, when you have the golf ball texture in here, basically the air that flows through it will create like tiny, it's not tornadoes, turbulences, and the air that then comes in doesn't actually touch or move along the material itself. It moves on an air curtain, and that gives you, it's just physics, dude. It gives you so much more airflow into your engine, basically into your like on top of the valve and stuff like that. It's amazing. They did tests. I watched a couple of videos, like they put those cylinder heads on a flow bench, and then they actually show you how much they flow more. And yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Crazy. It's just physics. I love it. But yeah, for now I think I'm just gonna do the exhaust ports. I'm gonna leave the intake ports because, like I said, already bigger, so bigger is better.
That's what she said.
Yeah, now I'm gonna do the exhaust ports, but I still need a couple tools more because I don't have everything here with me. And yeah, I need to get another air pressure regulator, that other one up. So yeah, need to get air pressure regulator. Oh, and light. All right. I'll be back.